They turned crap into dust. Or, that doesn't make any sense. Crap into dust, Ricky Widmer? Crap into dust. Think of that one. Think of that one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm Sean Anderson, Most Valuable Podcast, and this is our Stanley Cup preview. We have the Nashville Predators taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. You look at the Preds, it's their first time in franchise history making it this far, and you look at the Penguins, they've been here before, they just won the Cup last year, so you have kind of the newbie taking on the oldie. You have David versus Goliath. Should be a fun matchup, and looking at both teams, at least looking at the Predators, they got through the Ducks in 6, but they didn't come out unscathed. You look at the loss of Ryan Johansson, that's going to have major effects on their offense, but luckily for them, their defense and goaltending has been the bread and butter for them throughout the whole playoffs. You look at Pekka Rinne, he's on a historic pace, on a historic rate, 1.7 goals against, and 94.2 save percentage. That is unreal coming out of my mouth. That stuff along of Jonathan Quick's run back when the Cups won their first when they won their first Cup. I think that was back when they beat the Devils. I think that's when he had a crazy run of saving 94.6% and having like a goals against of 1.40. Anyways, it was ridiculous. Pekka Rinne's been really ridiculous. If the Preds want to win, their defense needs to be strong and their goaltending needs to be solid because, and you look at Pittsburgh, their bread and butter is their offense, and that's definitely coming from Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Phil Kessel. I mean, guys like Crosby turned Jake Guentzel into leading scorers in the playoffs. I mean, this team offensively has just been dynamite. Evgeny Malkin's leading the NHL in points this playoffs. Sidney Crosby's not too far behind. Those two alone can win you a playoff series, and they've done so pretty much 3 times already. So I think the key for the Pittsburgh Penguins has got to be the offense because that's going to give confidence to Matt Murray or Marc-Andre Fleury, who's ever in the net so far. I think you got to roll with Murray unless he starts to crumble or he gets injured again. But looking at this, it's going to be an offensive matchup, offensive powerhouse in Pittsburgh taking on the defensive powerhouse and goaltending powerhouse of Nashville. And looking at both teams, I look at Nashville and they've had a fantastic run, an amazing run. I think they have a ton of confidence there. However, Pittsburgh not only has the experience being this far, they also have home ice advantage. That's going to play a huge difference and a huge factor into this matchup. Looking at it, I think that the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to win the first game at least at home. But then it gets really tricky there. I think that Nashville can give a really good fight. I think they're going to push it to 7. However, I think the Penguins are going to win this in 7. I think both teams are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you look at Nashville running through the Blues, running through the Ducks, and destroying the Blackhawks was absolutely impressive. If they're able to get through the Penguins, I mean, this is going to be one of the greatest Cinderella stories that we've ever seen. An 8 seed upsetting and sweeping the number 1 seed in the Western Conference Finals, and then beating the defending Stanley Cup champions. I think it's going to be a crazy story, but all said and done, I think Sidney Crosby's going to win his 2nd straight Stanley Cup final, and I think that he is going to really cement himself as a top 5 player in NHL history. But anyways, these are just my opinions. Tell me who you think is going to be hoisting the Stanley Cup in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Most Valuable Podcast, like this video, and check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. We have a cool green screen behind us. We've been using these for our playoff previews this whole time, and we can add more cool stuff like lighting if you help us out. But anyways, I'm Sean Anderson, and we'll see you next time.